It's 10 o'clock a.m. and I would like to call to order. Excuse me. You couldn't read. Okay, it's 10 o'clock a.m. and I would like to call to order meeting of the Board of Directors of Friday, March 27th, 2026. Please note this meeting is being recorded. Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Starting with Director Cochran.
Here.
Devlin.
Here.
Garbarino. Here. Giudice.
Here.
Hernandez. Here. Maston.
Here.
Walton Peters. Here. Parr. Absent. Parrish. And Director Parr is here. Hello, Director Parr. Go. Parr is present. Parrish is absent. Rodoni.
Present.
Snyder.
Here.
Thier is absent. Second Vice President Hardeman.
Here.
First Vice President Rabbit.
Here.
And President Hill.
Sure.
Thank you. You have a quorum.
Thank you. Remember to turn on your mics for director's discussion. Also, please raise your hand and the secretary or I will call on you accordingly. Follow along by referring to the page numbers on the bottom right-hand corner of the meeting packet. Director Snyder, please lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We will now move to on to agenda item number 4, public comment. Madam Secretary, please continue.
Thank you. Agenda item number 4 is public comment for any and all items on today's agenda. If you wish to speak to an item on our agenda or address this board, I'll call your name. You can join us at the end of the table to provide your comments. I'm going to start with those attending in person before moving on to the speakers on the phone. And I'd like to invite Mr. Dave Rohde to the end of the table.
Good morning. My name is Dave Rohde. I'm the San Francisco Policy Co-Chair for the Climate Reality Project. A recent headline in the Golden Gate Bridge newsletter read, "Make every day Earth Day by taking public transit." It made some good points, but next to the headline was a photo of one of your diesel-fueled ferries. It prompted me once again to address the biofuel you're using. You use the renewable diesel as a direct result of the California Air Resources Board low carbon fuel standard. At first, renewable diesel relied on used cooking oils and tallow left over from animal fats, which was a reasonable idea. But with carbon incentives and subsidies, renewable diesel has become so widely used in California that it has outpaced its original sources. Now the primary feedstocks used to produce renewable diesel are oils derived from soy and corn. So CARB has shifted its promotional narrative from used cooking oils to claim that tailpipe emissions from renewable diesel are carbon neutral. By defining it as biogenic, they're saying that the soybean oil in renewable diesel is releasing the carbon that soybean crops sequestered before harvesting. That barely qualifies as a half-truth. CARB is completely ignoring the CO2 emissions generated by planting, fertilizing, harvesting, transporting, and processing crops used to make renewable diesel. Without including life cycle assessment, they are ignoring 70% of the total greenhouse gas emissions from renewable diesel. Because they claim that CO2 emissions from renewable diesel are biogenic, those emissions are not included in CARB's summary of the state's total transportation emissions. And they are completely ignoring the increased emissions in the Midwest where the crops are grown. The end result is more greenhouse gas in our atmosphere. In addition to using linguistic manipulation rather than climate science, CARB's low-carbon fuel standard ignores an even greater impact. California's subsidies are creating a financial incentive for farmers to shift their land use from food crops to biofuel feedstocks. When food is used to power vehicles, it is either snatched from human mouths or is made at the expense of our ecosystems. California is currently using 1.5 billion gallons of renewable diesel each year. We're using so much vegetable oil that countries like Brazil are clearing rainforest land in order to grow more of it. What I'm saying is backed by extensive studies by the International Council on Clean Transportation and by Princeton's renowned climate scientist Tim Searchinger. Searchinger's study had such an impact in Europe that EU regulators have backed away from their biofuel incentive programs. When the ICCT and Searchinger presented their studies to CARB, they were ignored. CARB's ongoing promotion of renewable diesel is political. It looks good in press releases. It is not based on sound science. Thank you for listening. And I'm happy to share my research if you want to see it.
Thank you, Mr. Brody. I learn something every month.
Are there any other speakers in the room that would like to address this board? Not seeing any. We're going to move to the online speakers. Justine, do you have any speakers on your telephone line?
Good morning. I do have one speaker, and then I would like to poll in case someone new has joined, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Our first speaker this morning is Lois. Lois, please unmute your phone and go ahead.
Good morning, and thank you for this meeting. My name is Lois, and I've been a commuter with the Golden Gate bus taking the number 4 for the past 20 years. Due to COVID, the bus service has terribly decreased service, and I understand because of the statement of decreased ridership. Currently, after 20 years of commuting to San Francisco, I've decreased my work hours and do not work in San Francisco, and I do work in San Francisco, but I begin my day at 12 noon. I've been fortunate enough to take the 150 at Spencer, and that is the only way that I could get into the city. I understand on the new schedule, the 150 is deleted, substituted by the 120. That service and that deletion is causing me great hardship, and myself and others, I speak for many others. The 120 that will go through Sausalito is a long drive through. There is no available parking, and it caters to the visitors and tourists. I strongly wish and hope that you would reevaluate deleting the 150 that stops at Spencer and reinstate it, or at least have the 101 stop during the day, non-commute hours, so those of us who would like to go to the city, who need to go to the city to work, who do not want to take the ferry, who do not want to take the 120, where, by the way, there is absolutely nowhere to park, and taking the 120 in decreases the opportunities to return home from a day of work. This has been a great hardship for myself and others. It will be a great hardship. And for other people, we are reevaluating how we will be traveling. The SMART train is not an option. The ferry is not an option. Parking, there is no parking. So we are at a standstill right now, not knowing how we are going to get to the city. I hope that you reevaluate this and have the 101 stop at Spencer during the day and also on the weekends. I know there's less people taking it at 101 at the time at Spencer during the day, but for those of us who rely on it for traffic, it is vital for our abilities to get to the city. For me personally, I will not take the ferry. I will not take the 120. So I need to look at different options or reevaluate my work status. As I said, I've worked in the city for over 20 years. I've driven in and paid for parking, and then someone told me to take the number 4 from Mill Valley 20 years ago, and I was very happy with the commute service. Please reevaluate having the 101 stop at Spencer so we have an opportunity to go home. I will repeat myself again. There is nowhere to park for the 120.
Lois, you've come to the end of your public comment. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I would like to poll the room and see if anyone new has joined us that would like to speak this morning at the board meeting. Please press * to unmute yourself and give me your name. Again, if you'd like to speak this morning, you'll need to press * on your phone and give me your name. Madam Secretary, I'm not hearing anybody this morning. Anyone else? Thank you.
Thank you.
We have no more speakers for public comment. This concludes the public comment for items on today's agenda. Madam Secretary, please continue to the next item.
We're going to move on to item number 5, and that's to approve the consent calendar. Are there any questions from board members on the consent calendar?
Seeing none, may I have a motion on this item?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, please do a roll call.
Thank you. We're voting on item number 5 with first and second, starting with Dr. Cochran.
Yes.
Devlin.
Aye.
Garbarino. Aye. Giudice.
Yes.
Hernandez. Aye. Asti.
Yes.
Milton Peters.
Yes.
Parr. Yes. Excuse me. Parr. Parrish.
Yes.
Rodoni.
Yes.
Snyder.
Yes.
Here is absent. Second Vice President Hardeman.
Yes.
First Vice President Rabbit.
Aye.
And President Hill.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Please continue to the next item.
We're going to move on to the General Manager's Report, which is item number 6A, and that's going to be provided by Dennis today. Dennis, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Secretary, President Hill, members of the board, members of the public and staff. My written report is before you. I'll only highlight a couple of items. As always, though, I start with travel in the Golden Gate Corridor because that's the business that we're in. And travel is still well below pre-pandemic levels. But that having said, we're seeing slow, steady growth in travel. When you look at February, last month compared to February a year earlier, bridge traffic was up 4%. We had rather inclement weather in February this year. Bus traffic ridership was up 2%, and ferry ridership was up 21%. So we are seeing a slow, steady return of customers as downtown San Francisco bounces back. The office vacancy rate is starting to decline in San Francisco, though it is still above 30%. That means over 30% of all office space in the financial district is not leased. It does not have a tenant. But it's much better than 39% or 35% other recent milestones that it's been at. Next, I'll mention Mascots. Mascots is just around the corner. The service changes were approved by all of the agencies late last year. They will take effect on April 12th. We had one speaker that spoke about Spencer Avenue. Spencer Avenue is one of the least utilized bus stops on the system, but it is not being abandoned as part of Mascots. Mascots looked at where our customers are and it reallocates resources to where the maximum customers are. And it also was a collaborative effort with all the other agencies in Marin and Sonoma as we look at how we can offer efficient service that grows ridership for everybody. The Spencer Avenue bus stop southbound will be served by 16 buses every morning commute, and northbound in the evening commute will be served by 15 buses. For riders on the 120, there is parking available at Manzanita, both the Route 114, which is the new Route 4 for Lois, the speaker, stops at Manzanita, and also the Route 120 stops at Manzanita. Manzanita is the largest park and ride lot in southern and central Marin, and it's historically been our most utilized park and ride lot for our customers. But the changes are coming up quickly. If the customer goes to the bus stop, at all the bus stops, we have signage up that tells you for this bus stop what your alternatives will be. That is up already in over 40 bus stops that we currently serve that will be served differently after Mascots is implemented on April 12th. There's a large amount of marketing materials. There'll be a press release that will go out next week, and as we get closer to the 12th, we'll have more and more information going out. We'll have staff with boots on the ground at key locations for the first couple of weeks after the rollout to assist people. Mascots will offer a tremendous increase in smart service. We'll start earlier, run later, run more midday trains, and our Route 101 will be focused on getting people from San Rafael to San Francisco quickly. Our customers want fast service, and we're pleased that we'll be able to provide that with Mascots. Now we come to the part of the meeting that I enjoy the most, and that's recognitions. And so I'll ask Mike Hoffman to invite Edwin Lowe to the front of the room. Mr. Lowe is celebrating 35 years with the Bridge District. Wow. Mr. Lowe is a terminal assistant. So he's one of the people that engages with our customers, and you can tell by his demeanor that our customers enjoy his engagements tremendously. In addition to serving as a terminal assistant for 35 years with us, he is an active and leader in our Chase Corporate Challenge foot race team every year, representing the ferry division. And so we're just very appreciative for all that he does, not just with our customers, but with his colleagues and coworkers to get them engaged and energized in all that we do. So congratulations, everyone.
Just like to thank you for having me here to see my 35 years award. And I have a pleasure working with all you guys and my coworkers and every people I meet at the ferry. It's a wonderful place to work at. And hopefully I'll do a couple more years before I retire.
Thank you so much. Next, I'll ask Kelly Hopper to escort Karen Buchanan to the front of the room. Karen is celebrating 30 years with the district. In her time with the district, she's worked in 4 different departments: engineering, planning, the district secretary's office, and environmental health and risk management, where she works currently. She is our workers' comp coordinator for the district. She is very active in her community. She resides in Point Richmond and is engaged very much in her community. And so we want to congratulate her on her 30 years of service with the Bridge District.
Know how dangerous it is giving a microphone to a professional comedian. Okay, hi. So yeah, when they hired me on March 18th, 1996, little did I know I was being sentenced to public agency hard time. Yeah, 30 years to life. Life pension. Thank you, CalPERS. Anyway, when they hired me, I was still married. I had my married name, Engbretson. And my father-in-law was a retired college president with 2 PhDs. So when he told me that the Norwegian translation of Engbretson, in English, means son of the bridge builder, I ran with the ball. And when I was interviewed by Jan Tarantino, then executive assistant to general manager for the Gate Gab newsletter, I told her that story. And she goes, "Oh, son of the bridge builder, that's wonderful." Okay, so it was in print. Okay, and then fast forward 12 years later, 2007, I'm taking a lunchtime stroll around the toll plaza among the tourists, and I encounter a pair of Norwegian engineers here for a work conference. And I asked them, "Is it true, sir, that Engbretson means son of the bridge builder?" And they looked at me and I, "No, it means son of Engbret." Anyway, thank you very much. I really appreciate and honor my 30 years here. Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful ride.
So before we get to the Employee of the Month, I would be remiss if I didn't mention we have one additional employee celebrating 25 years of service. And so I won't escort myself to the front of the room, but I have had the pleasure of working here for 25 years, originally hired as your chief engineer. And about 15 and a half years ago, our prior general manager, Celia Cooper-Smith, left. She was a wonderful general manager, and in a weak moment, you made me your general manager. So very appreciative. And I just wanted to say thank you for 25 years, and not 25 more, but some more.
Dennis, you're not going to get away that easily. We all appreciate all you've done for the bridge. All the seismic safety things you've done, and it's really important. The only problem is you haven't come back to Del Norte. The last time we ran into a bunch of people we knew, and they kept buying us martinis, and we drank it back since. But anyway, you do have to come back. All right.
Thank you, Director Cochran. Now comes.
Hang on. No, we're not done. We're not done. You know, Jerry loves to do the nuts and bolts of of general managership. He has all the numbers and all that. So I was writing myself some notes here. And my first recollection of Dennis, the engineer doesn't get to give reports like they do now. But I thought, an engineer? How in the world could they ever run the bridge? How would that work? So you can. You've done a great job, and I'm going to take the people part. So here's what I see in Dennis. He listens. He turns it into actions. He listens again, and he tells us again in case we've forgotten. He pretty much knows it all, and I don't know how he keeps all that in his head, both the numbers and the people things. He understands the importance of leading through others, and I remember, I'm going to tell a little story on Dennis. Early in his tenure, he kept talking for people. Remember that, Dennis? And I said, oh, Dennis, you have such wonderful people. Let them talk for themselves. And now he forgets that he can talk. He lets other people talk for themselves because he understands. And the more you sit in meetings, and the more you go to committees, you understand that he gets it, that the only people that are important in the district are the ones that work with you, not the ones that the ones that work against you, teach you things. But he's so inclusive. I don't know if you heard yesterday, if you were here, but he's talking about every time there's a bus accident, the group gets together and they talk about what they could have done differently. And that to me is leadership. Looking at what the issues are, not that there aren't issues, there are always issues, but looking at what the issues are and figuring out what can we do to make us better. And you continually do that. You're constantly evaluating, thinking ahead on the issues. And personally, I appreciate it. I've been here almost as long as you. So thank you, Dennis.
Thank you, Director Pop. So now my favorite part of all of our board meetings, and that's the Employee of the Month.
So I just want to say a few words about Dennis. I want to thank you for 25 years. And when I joined this board, I was so impressed by the professionalism of our staff and also the fact that what Barbara just said, Director Parr, that you know everything about everything. And then on top of that, a little bit more. But I have an assignment for you for the next meeting, and I think staff might need to help. What I've been most impressed with you about is your ability to not only lead the district, but to lead it in a way that others follow in terms of giving us money. So and you have brought in more money for this district, and that's the number that I want, is the number of how much money over the 25 years you've brought in for this district. Because I know since the time I joined this board, with your leadership, with your representation, and with the way that you have spoken to our federal and state government, you have managed to get dollars in areas where there's fierce competition by other transit providers. And I'm very impressed by that. And I want to thank you for 25 years of service. And thank you very much, Dennis.
Thank you, Director Thier. So now we'll get back to my favorite part of the meeting, and that's the Employee of the Month.
So I have to say that I don't mean to get too religious or actually offend anyone, but there's a favorite saying of mine, and it's you. In Micah, always do what is right, love goodness, and walk humbly with your God. And you do that in your work. There is no greater way that I've ever seen, but for you, the way you tell us, we're not going there. That is not where, but you do it with such grace, even though you went to private school. It's just phenomenal. So I forgive you for that, and David too. But thank you for all of what you do to steer us, to manage us appropriately and with kindness.
Thank you, Director. I'll try one more time. We have a committee here at the district that's made up of employees, not managers, that selects one of their own each month to be recognized for just being an outstanding employee, an outstanding individual. And this month, the Employee of the Month committee selected Melissa Martin, who works in our engineering department. So I'd like to have John Everly escort her to the front of the room. Melissa is the Director of Engineering Contracts. She joined the district in the darkest days of the pandemic, and the district has promoted her 3 times since to her current position. And her colleagues and coworkers speak incredibly highly of her. They celebrate her. There's balloons right outside her office. Her colleagues and employees put up just yesterday, just for being who she is. She's so professional, so thorough, and just a joy to work with, according to her colleagues. When she's not at work, she resides in Burlingame with her son, Chris Martin. She's originally from Caracas, Venezuela, and she graduated from SF State in business with an emphasis in corporate finance. And we're very pleased to have her, and congratulations, Melissa.
Thank you. This has been an amazing award. I'm really grateful to work at the district. I've been here almost 6 years, and then I'm looking forward to spend my career here. Thank you, John, my staff, the board, and Dennis. This has been grateful. Thank you. I'm really grateful for this.
Mr. President, that concludes my report. I'm available to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Dennis. Are there any questions from directors and the general manager's report? Thank you, Madam Secretary. Please continue to the next item on the agenda.
We're going to move on to item number 6B, which is attorney's report by Kim Manolius. Kim, go ahead with your report.
Thank you, President Hill. My written report's before you. I'm happy to take any questions about it. We do have a very interesting closed session this afternoon, which I'm sure you'll enjoy. And I just wanted to note that nobody gave me the mic when they were talking about Dennis. So I'm just kidding. It's an honor to work with him.
Thank you, Jim. Are there any questions related to the attorney's report? I'll give you some time. Seeing none. Thank you, Madam Secretary. Please continue to the next item on the agenda.
Thank you. We're going to move on to item 6C, which is a report of the district engineer. As a reminder, the engineer's report will be found in the Building and Operating Committee meeting packet as agenda item number 5 from yesterday. John is here to present his report. John, go ahead.
Good morning. Thank you. Good morning, President Hill, members of the board. Just a few items I'd like to bring to your attention. First, seismic retrofit project. Contractor is continuing preparing their submittals preparatory to moving on site. The SGS contractor has completely vacated from the site, so they will be able to move in once they get their preliminary submittals completed. Also, our district forces are completing the removal of their operations on the north side span. The contractor for the short-term electrical repair on the bridge has fully mobilized, and they started work this week. They have tested all of the temporary generators that are necessary for the cutovers at each location, and they actually yesterday afternoon completed installing a new piece of equipment in the South Anchorage house. So they are progressing on the project, which is great. The district received from BTDC a construction permit for the construction of the South Toledo Ferry Terminal project. So we've been working on that project for a while. We have one remaining construction permit left, which is for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and they are currently reviewing that. And then I wanted to state that the district completed its site-specific risk assessment for the bridge in accordance with American Association of State Highway and Transportation Officials Method 2 probabilistic risk assessment. and concluded that the bridge has an annual frequency of collapse well below the AASHTO threshold. So no further work, no further investigations are required for the bridge. This was a really big undertaking, and we're very happy that those who designed the bridge designed it the way they did. And so we don't have to worry. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions? Seeing none, thank you, John. And thank you. Madam Secretary, let's continue to the next item.
Thank you. I'm going to continue on to item 8A on the agenda, which is a report from yesterday's Transportation Committee. Chair Maston, please review your committee's report to the board.
Thank you, President Hill. Transportation Committee recommends the approval of item number 8A1, which is to authorize execution of the First Amendment, the interagency agreement between the Marin County Transit District and the Golden Gate Bridge Highway and Transportation District for the provision of local fixed route bus service in Marin County, which extends the agreement through June 30th, 2027, authorizes up to 6 additional 1-month extensions by mutual agreement, updates the fiscal year 2026-2027 revenue hour rate, and adds provisions addressing major maintenance components and associated labor as detailed in the staff report, and I so move.
Thank you, Jim. I have a motion on this item.
Second. Rabbit.
Okay. Before I ask for a vote, are there any questions related to this item? Seeing none. Thank you, ma'am. Roll call.
Okay, got it. Voting on item 8A1, have first and second, starting with Director Cochran.
Aye.
Devlin.
Aye.
Garbarino.
Aye.
Giudice.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Aye.
Maston.
Aye.
Moulton Peters.
Yes.
Parr.
Aye.
Parrish.
Aye.
Rodoni.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Fear.
Aye.
Second Vice President Hardeman.
Aye.
First Vice President Rabbit.
Aye.
And President Hill.
Aye.
Votes unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Maston. Do you have any further things to report?
Mr. President, that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. President. Excuse me. Thank you, Madam Secretary. Please continue to the next item.
Thank you. We're going to continue on to item 8B on the agenda, and that's a report from yesterday's Building and Operating Committee. Chair Garbarino, please begin your committee's report to the board.
Thank you. I would also like to thank Acting Chair Cochran for covering yesterday's meeting during my absence. With that said, the Building and Operating Committee is recommending approval of board agenda item number B81. Okay, did I do that wrong? 8B1. Which is to approve award of contract number 2026B025A-62T Aspen Boom Lift Rental Services to Bridge Access Specialists LLC of Springfield, Oregon in an amount not to exceed $475,875 to provide an A62T boom lift with an equipment operator to provide underdeck access at the Golden Gate Bridge and establish a 10% contingency in the amount of $47,588 with the understanding that sufficient funds are available in the fiscal year 2025-2026 Bridge Division operating budget to fund the estimated $523,463 in expenses. And as detailed in the staff report, I so move.
Second.
Thank you. Motion. Before I ask for a vote, are there any questions related to this item? Seeing none. Thank you, Madam Secretary. Please do a roll call vote.
Thank you. Voting on item AB1 with a first and second, starting with Director Cochran.
Yes.
Devlin.
Aye.
Garbarino.
Aye.
Giudice.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Aye.
Aston.
Aye.
Moulton Peters.
Yes.
Parr.
Aye.
Parrish.
Aye.
Rodoni.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Fear.
Aye.
Second Vice President Hardeman.
Aye.
First Vice President Rabbit.
Aye.
And President Hill.
Yes.
Thank you. It's unanimous vote for all present.
Okay. Thank you, Chair Garbarino. Please continue with your report.
Thank you, Mr. President. The last item for recommendation is item number 8B2, which is to approve actions as detailed in the staff report relative to capital projects number 1940, purchase new vessel, and number 2445, Del Norte replacement as follows. 1, approve award of contract number 2026 F034, Liwa Vessel 1 and 2 engines, gearboxes, and drivelines to Northern Lights in the amount of $10,321,491, and approve contract number 2026 F022, Liwa Vessel number 1 and 2, water jet propulsion systems to Hamilton Jet in the amount of $2,655,168.95, and I so move.
Thank you.
Second.
Oh.
Sorry.
No, second. I have a motion. Before I ask for a vote, are there any questions related to this item? Seeing none. Thank you, Madam Secretary. Take the roll.
Thank you. Voting on item 8B2, starting with Director Cochran,
Yes.
Director Devlin,
Aye.
Garbarino,
Aye.
Giudice,
Yes.
Hernandez, Maston,
Aye.
Moulton Peters,
Yes.
Parr,
Yes.
Parrish,
Yes.
Rodoni,
Yes.
Snyder,
Yes.
Sear,
Yeah.
Second Vice President Hardeman,
Yes.
First Vice President Rabbit,
Aye.
and President Hill.
Yes.
Thank you. That's unanimous with those present.
Thank you, Chair Garbarino. Do you have anything further?
Mr. President, that concludes my report.
Thank you. Secretary, please continue the next item of the agenda.
We're going to continue on item 8C on the agenda, which is the report from yesterday's Finance Auditing Committee. Chair Rabbit, please begin your committee's report to the board.
Yeah, thank you very much, President Hill. I first would like to thank Vice Chair Parr for covering yesterday's Finance Auditing Committee and the OPEB Investment Trust Board meetings during my absence. Thank you.
Miss you.
Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I was at a press conference celebrating the installation of 6 new radars throughout the Bay Area to better help us with our weather forecasting, which in turn will help us with our water supply and flood control. And that was led by Sonoma County, so I'm very proud of that. And these radars are X-band and C-band radars, which actually can predict and have better resolution than the Doppler radar that you always hear about on the nightly news. So a step forward, and very excited about that. So with that said, the Auditing Committee recommends approval of item 8C1, which is to approve renewal of the annual delegation of investment management authority to the Auditor Controller for fiscal year 26-27, as per Rule 11, Investment Policy, Section E, Delegation of Authority of the Rules of the Board, and as provided for in the California Government Code Section 53607, and approve an amendment to Rule 11, Investment Policy of the Rules of the Board, as detailed in the staff report, and I so move.
Second.
Thank you. Well, I have a motion on this item. May I have a second? Before I ask for a vote, are there any questions related to this item? Seeing none. Thank you, Madam Secretary. Roll call.
Got it. Voting on item 8C1 with first and second, starting with Director Cochran,
Yes.
Devlin,
Aye.
Garbarino,
Aye.
Giudice,
Yes.
Hernandez,
Aye.
Maston,
Aye.
Moulton Peters,
Yes.
Parr,
Aye.
Parrish,
Aye.
Rodoni,
Aye.
Snyder,
Aye.
Sear,
Aye.
Second Vice President Hardeman,
Aye.
First Vice President Rabbit,
Aye.
and President Hill.
Yes.
Thank you. That's unanimous with those present.
Thank you, Chair Rabbit. Please continue with your report.
And thank you, President Hill. The last item for approval is item 8B2, to receive the independent auditor's communication with those charged with governance and engagement letter for services related to the annual financial report and single audit for the year ending June 30th, 2026, as submitted by Eide Bailly LLP and as detailed in the staff report, and I so move.
Second.
Thank you. So let's see, second, before I ask for a vote, are there any questions related to this item? Seeing none. Thank you, Madam Secretary. Please do a call.
Thank you. Voting item AC2 with a first and second, starting with Director Cochran.
Yes.
Devlin.
Aye.
Garbarino.
Aye.
Giudice.
Yes.
Hernandez. Aye. Maston.
Aye.
Moulton Peters.
Yes.
Parr.
Aye.
Parrish.
Aye.
Verdoni.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Fear.
Aye.
Second Vice President Hardeman.
Aye.
First Vice President Rabbit.
Aye.
And President Hill.
Aye.
Thank you. That votes unanimous.
Thank you, Chair Abbott. Do you have anything further to report?
Mr. President, that concludes my report.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, please continue.
Thank you. We're going to continue on. There's no addresses to the board under agenda item number 9. We have no special order of 10. Item number 11 is unfinished business, which I'll turn back over to Kim Manolius for a closed session report. Kim, please take us through the closed session.
Thank you very much. At this time, the board will go into closed session for a conference with legal counsel for existing litigation under Government Code 54956.9 D2. The case being Cash Trafficom USA Inc. versus Golden Gate Bridge Highway and Transportation.
Okay, clearing the room.
Good morning. I'd like to check back with the callers on the line and see if we've missed anybody that wanted to speak this morning under public comment. If so, can you please press ***, unmute yourself, and give me your name? Again, if you did want to speak this morning and you were missed by the time we started, please press *** to unmute yourself and give me your name, and we'll try to circle back and let you speak after closed session.
Hi, Justine. I just want to say have a great weekend. I'm not going to speak, which is a good thing, but I just wanted
who
to
is
say
it?
hi. John Holden.
Oh, hey, John. Thanks. Wishing you a nice weekend as well. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Is there anyone that would like to speak this morning? Please press *** to unmute yourself and give me your names. Okay, I'm not hearing anyone, and I appreciate you keeping your own devices on mute while we're in closed session. Thanks, everyone. Thank you for your patience while we're in closed session, everybody. I did want to ask one last time if there's anybody that's joined that would like to speak this morning. Please use ** to unmute yourself and let me know, and we'll try to get to you after closed session. Again, you'll need to press ** on your own device to come through the system and give me your name. Okay, I'm not hearing anyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Kim. Please close session report out.
Of course. Thanks, President Hill. Board met in closed session for conference with legal counsel on the case listed on the agenda and gave its counsel appropriate advice as to how to handle the case. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Please continue to the next item on the agenda.
Certainly. Item number 12 is new business, which is a report on meetings and conferences attended by directors. First Vice President Rabbit and Director Snyder will be presenting this report. First Vice President Rabbit, would you like to start?
Back to Sure, I'll start in. Appreciate the opportunity to report out on our advocacy trip to Washington, D.C. For me personally, I was there for an extended period, so it worked out. I was there for NACO, and then the Association of California Water Agencies, Sonoma Water, and then spent the weekend hours there, and then was able to roll into the Golden Gate meetings. I think the topics that we discussed were the bridge seismic retrofit on the reauthorization side of things, wanting to continue to fully fund the bridge program, keep the large bridge program, and protect the local agency access to bridge funding. On the ferry fleet side of things, right now the three funding sources that we could have an opportunity to tap into, the one that we've been most successful at has been capped at $30 million nationwide, and the LIRA is $50 million or so as for one boat. So our ask was to get to $100 million in that funding source. Apparently, Congressman Garamendi put forward $160 million. We'll see how that all pans out. We also advocated for ferry dredging at Larkspur through Army Corps, and San Rafael Transit Center. That ask changed a little bit because of the late arrival of $26 million. So it's also good to say thank you, which is what we did with the suicide deterrent system as well, letting them know that that investment has been saving lives and is there for generations to come. And we did meet with all the usual suspects in the legislature, our local representatives, and we also met with the Federal Transportation and Federal Highways as well. All in all, obviously, when you go back and represent the bridge is well respected. You don't have to tell anyone where it is, what it is, or anything else. And Dennis does a fabulous job, and was very honored to attend. And I'll turn it over to my colleague.
Thank you, Senator. You have anything to add?
Yeah, thank you, Director Rabbit. I don't have much to add except for, it is pretty, even in this climate, it was pretty amazing that the doors just kind of open up. You go to the Department of Transportation and the bridge at the Large Bridge Program entrance is our bridge that they use for the wind tunnels. Kind of sells itself. We had an opportunity. I mean, a lot of this stuff is relationship building too. And just even being there, you never know who you're going to run into. The entire Senate, we ran into Pro Tem Limon and the entire Senate delegation of California from Sacramento at lunch, and we were able to have some pretty good conversations even there for our stuff in Sacramento. So it's kind of neat to see kind of that kind of stuff. And also got to meet with Congressman Swalwell and grass right down on the floor. He was going in and voting, coming back and talking about our issues. And something was really neat was we were in the annex, and then right next to the cloakroom. Being on this board is such an honor. You never know where you're going to see the Golden Gate Bridge, but now that I'm on it, I see it everywhere I go. And me and Amaretz spotted this portrait of a woman. I really got into her lately. Congresswoman Florence Prog-Kahn, first Jewish congresswoman in the United States, was elected from San Francisco as a Republican in 1925 to 37, and fought tooth and nail for the bridge back then. And there's a picture of her right next to the cloakroom with our bridge right on it. Kind of neat. And 5 years right after the women got the right to vote. And she sat on first woman to sit on appropriations. I guess she helped a lot with the formation of our district. She also sat on the military committee at the time and helped with the Presidio in the founding of the bridge. So we had some really powerful women right from the beginning helping getting us going. Just kind of an aside, but it was a great trip. It always is, and we are respected. And whether it's the Republican in office or Democrat administration, people really love seeing and hearing from us. So, thank you.
If I could add just one quick story, because Dennis had a conversation this week, but while I was at NACO, which is the National Association of Counties, which can be torturous sometimes, in a Transportation Policy Steering Committee meeting, listening to a panel discuss anticipated federal changes in transportation policy and funding and so on and so forth, one of the speakers brought up the Golden Gate Bridge out of the blue, talking about how quick the Golden Gate Bridge was built as compared to what it takes to even get a permit today, right? So, of course, I hear that, perks me up. I raise my hand to ask a question, a follow-up, using the opportunity to let them know part of the bridge. And the next thing you know, and these were two federally appointed individuals, they're asking me questions from the dais down. Is it true that you paint the bridge from one side to the other? And it turns out that one of those individuals actually, has he taken the tour? Dennis could, one day. So I'll tell you who that one was. So the relationship building, the bridge as an iconic structure, and being able to make these trips and connections.
We gave him a tour on Monday, and he's someone that a year ago we're reaching out to for the $400 million. We did not know him then. Director Snyder had some of the international presidents reach out. I had some business leaders reach out. We had a Republican member of Congress reach out on behalf. We had people reaching out, but the guy we're reaching out to is who was asking David all his questions. So they scheduled a last-minute tour. Amra and I gave them the tour. What was neat is they got here a little early, so they got dropped off by the Uber at the south end. They walked all the way across the bridge, checking out to the north end. Then I get the text from Amy, who we bumped into at DOT, saying, "We're early, can you do it?" We said, "Sure." And, the appointee just loved it.
Great.
And so, if we ever need anything, we have the inroad to make a contact, not out of the blue like we did a year ago, but with someone that truly enjoys the bridge. And and enjoyed what they saw in terms of what all of you represent.
If everyone shows up to the bridge, I was invited to take a tour.
Oh, yeah.
Be getting a lot of other work done, but
He chaired the committee that did the political review on discretionary grants a year ago.
So key.
That's great.
I would be remiss to, we have just a fabulous lobbyist in Paul Schlesinger. I mean, the guy is just, he knows transportation funding inside and out, and he's just an affable character and just an all-around good guy. It's a real pleasure to walk the halls with him, too. And I know he's not here, but I really appreciate the work he does on behalf of the bridge.
Are there any questions from board members?
Thank you from all of us.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Secretary. Please continue.
Thank you. Item 13 is communications. If any directors would like a copy of the communications, it was revised this morning and reposted, but you can always reach out to me and I'll send you a copy of all of them if you like all of them.
Any other comments? Thank you. We have reached the end of the agenda. Thanks to everyone who joined us today for today's meeting. May I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Please read the names for today's adjournment.
Thank you. We're going to adjourn the meeting and with a moment of silence in honor of John Simons Jr., father of Bridge Patrol Officer Chad Simons, and Jack D'Angelo at the request of Director Hernandez.
This concludes the meeting of the Board of Directors. The time is 11:01.